sit back and relax for an evening with the Thamesmen.
Welcome. We are the Thamesmen.
Hello, George. How are you?
Oh, hello, mate. How are you doing?
Good.
So tonight it is something a bit different. It is a request-off. It's a subscriber's choice tonight.
And for those who don't know, for the Wheel of Fortune, I had one segment called Request, but I misspelt it, so I wrote Request.
Request. So it's a request-off.
Well, I had a few. I didn't spell it correctly. Quietly. Are you whipping me? Throw them to the ground roughly.
So this is a request-off. Subscriber's choice. It's a bit like Readers' Wives, but Alex keeps his clothes on. That's what it is.
What the hell is Readers' Wives? Is it like you send pictures of your wife and naked?
You don't know what Readers' Wives is?
Is it a razzle-dazzle mag?
It's a razzle-dazzle mag where people send in Readers' Wives.
What, you mean you just take a picture of your wife and put it in a magazine and sell it down the garage?
Pretty much, yeah.
You filthy
I've
devil.
I've never done it.
You filthy, filthy devil. Pass it over. Right. Okay, so what have we got? What request have we got?
Well, the request is from one of our subscribers, Chris. And Chris has come up with something really interesting. He actually emailed me directly with this, with actually 2 tracks.
On which email? On which email?
From our Thamesmen, which is the new Thamesmen at gmail.com. So please send us emails if you wish, or comment and like and subscribe. But yeah, so Chris, he came up with, he wanted to surprise you, Alex, which I thought was rather sweet. And so this track, you've got to spot something in it. That's the challenge here, okay?
Okay. Who is it?
All right.
Who is it by?
Pete Townshend. And this was in 1986. This was a killer band called Deep End he put together. They only did 3 concerts and maybe a 4th, which was at some sort of TV show in Germany. And it was to support his album at the time, which was a concept album called White City. But the band is killer.
Okay.
So just check this out, and then
Yep.
You ready?
Request.
And
Throw him to the ground, waffly.
Waffly. Are you queued up?
Centurion. Right. Count me in.
3, 2, 1, go.
give it all, but still you may ask for more. So give love and keep love between brothers. Give love, give your love and keep love between brothers. Give love and keep love between brothers. Give your love and keep love between brothers. Give your love, keep brothers and sisters. Give your love and keep love between brothers.
Thank you.
Wow. I never knew Gilmour played with Townshend.
Yeah, it was like for 3 or 4 gigs. That was it. And it was that band they called Deep End. And it was a killer band, though. You've got to mess. Like the drummer. I mean, for me, in that track, I mean, it's not the world's greatest track, because that's not, I don't know if that's really Pete's wheelhouse, but the Simon Phillips, the drummer, oh my God.
Yeah, no, it was amazing. You see his double kick at the end. It was fantastic.
He is one of the great drummers, and actually,
I know nothing about him. He was great.
He is amazing. And there was a second. So Chris sent me 2 links from this band, the Deep End, and this one, the Give Blood, which is where David Gilmour is more obvious, and that was the running thing, was David Gilmour, So, but the other track he said was it called Face to Face or something, which was the hit, was the single off the album, and you only see Gilmour sort of fleetingly at the side, sort of thing,
right?
But the drumming on it from Simon Phillips is astounding. It is like the most exhausting, like, he just keeps up this beat and rhythm, and the backing band with the horns and the backing singers, and that was a really good track. But I just wanted the Gilmour moment for you. That was
great. It was absolutely. It was a real surprise to see him, He chooses tricky people to work with, Gilmour, doesn't he? If it's not Roger Walters he walks away, it's going over to Pete Townshend, you know what I mean? He must be a very calm man to be able to work with all these. Now, I had no idea that this ever existed.
I know,
it's great.
Exactly. Isn't that cool?
Yeah. So thank you very much. That was a great request. That was brilliant.
That was a good. Yeah. So it was. Like I said, I don't think it's the greatest song ever, but it was great to see, and that was 1986 in Brixton, and so I think they did 3 songs and three nights, I think, and then they did this other one, and then it was. I mean, imagine having all that many people on stage. It's not cheap, as we've talked about in the past.
I know. Yeah. That is exactly what I was thinking about that lot as well. And when you said they only did three gigs, I thought that's a lot of rehearsal and a lot of money to get that set up.
Yeah, I think Pete was sort of trying to find his way at that point in some ways. It was definitely not anything like the Who. It was something very different, and but that was.
Well, it was like the Who. It was. I thought it was. But obviously a lot more layered because a load more musicians.
That's true. Okay, all right, I'll take that.
But were they saying "Give Blood"?
Yeah. The song's called "Give Blood."
Was it around the HIV crisis?
I don't know what the concept
in the 80s or something, or was it was it a conceptual thing about that, or?
Yeah, maybe we should have done some research on that. But anyway, it's all good. So,
Or maybe it was just a campaign.
While we ponder that, let's take a quick break.
Yes.
And we just to give time for our sponsors who help fund our endeavors, and we'll be right back.
Good.
Carling Black Label.
Your best bet for a fuller flavour.
Carling Black Label.
Excellent. All right. So that was our friend.
So I was going to say, while we were away, viewers, we actually worked out that was probably one of the most expensive blood drive campaigns in history.
In blood.
You know what I mean? That's it.
With a super group consisting of Simon Phillips and David Gilmour, that was quite impressive, really, wasn't it?
Yeah, we need some, you know, like A positive.
National Health
bring
Service.
the band together.
Help us
We're
out
out. All right.
Well, you know, like that was the time though. That was 1986, and I think I obviously told you at some point, but I met Pete Townshend in 1985 when I was like 18 years old. That ages me a bit, and I was on holiday in Cornwall, and me and two friends, Rupert and Matthew, and of course you could tell
Matthew Jukes and Rupert. Yeah.
Yeah, Matthew, who's now a famous wine critic, as you know.
Is he really? Oh, you did.
He is. He writes the Daily Mail. He does weekly wine lists for the Daily Mail and stuff.
We should connect him with Henry.
What?
Henry. We should connect him with Henry. This is not the point. This is not the time. We should be connected. Anyway.
We should. Anyway. And we were on holiday in this little village in England, and we went to the Yacht Club Disco, and it was like a Thursday night or something like that, and we were just being awkward 18-year-old teenagers, and we were sitting outside, and we started chatting to these two girls, and they were like lovely, and we were just chatting and hanging out, and they said, well, come round to our house for tea or coffee tomorrow. And we're like, sure, where do you live? They said, up this road, up there, this house here. We're like, okay, we'll meet you there like 11 o'clock. Went over there. We're sitting in the conservatory chatting to these girls. We're just having a chat. It was nothing crazy. And this voice comes out. So Emma, come and go to your lunch. Go to your lunch. And she's like, just stay here. I'll be back in a second. And we sat there and we're like, what are we meant to do? Are we meant to go? Or what's the... And at that moment, Pete walks in and he sits down. He goes, all right, lads. How you doing?
No way.
And it was Emma Townshend. It was his daughter. And it was like we spent the summer while we were down in Cornwall, we used to sort of drive to the beach and hang out, and it was just like good times. And then as it turns out, he, as you know, had a house in Goring.
Yeah, the mill.
On Thames, where we are, the Thamesmen, and I lived the next village over, and so carried on for that summer. We'd drive down there, pick her up, take her to the pub, and hang out. And I used to knock on the door, and he'd go, "All right, George, come in." And I've always wanted to meet Pete ever since. It was just like one summer, he knew my name. It was like I was 18.
Cool.
It was the coolest thing, and yeah.
Have you kept in touch with? Have you kept in touch with her?
No, like we all went off to university and went out different directions and went traveling and who knows what and just lost touch. And
Cool.
it was one of those moments in life, which was cool.
I would look at albums around that time and look at the names of the songs. You never know. There might be like, Don't Touch My Daughter, George, or something like that, or like, yeah, I'll shoot your balls off.
It was never like that. It was just friendly, It was just.
Of course it was. Oh yes.
It was pretty cool. So. Okay, time. I think then on that note, I think it's time for us to go into bangers or wangers. Right, we're back. Okay, so this was Pete Townshend, Give Blood, and I picked it. So, actually,
it was a
Chris,
request.
Our subscriber, picked it.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Chris.
Thanks,
Thank you. I did not know this existed. You know I love Gilmore, so anything Gilmore. So to find something new, thank you.
Exactly. Very good. So, on that note, how are you going to score it, my friend?
Oh, okay. All right. Straight off, it didn't grab me, but it was a really good musicianship, as you said. The drummer, a bit worried about the keyboardist. His name was Rabbit.
Yeah, right. That's all that. Rabbit.
But he regrets picking that name out.
Hey, well, hold on. One second. What was your father's name? And he was a keyboardist.
His name, is Chick, and also
Chick. So I don't think
there's a theme going on, isn't there? It's like a menagerie.
Menagerie, yeah.
And also, my youngest kid, we're the third kid around. We kind of gave up, and we've just basically called him. His middle name is Chick as well. Right? Okay, the menagerie. Okay, I'm gonna come in at a 7.8. I thought the song was good. I thought that the drumming was exceptional. I love seeing Gilmore. I've seen Townshend obviously write a lot better songs, but it's a really polished performance.
Yeah, it was great band, amazing band.
Thank you, Chris.
Yeah. So 7.8. I think I'm gonna go with an 8. To be honest with you, because I like it. I love the band. Simon Phillips on the drums. Oh my god, he was really good.
I'm going to check him out.
I've seen the other track. I think I'll put a link to the other track in the bottom because it was. If you want to see some drumming, like Simon Phillips. Oh my god. Pete Townshend's dancing in it though. He is no Michael Jackson, and so that was another reason I didn't pick that because it was a bit awkward. But anyway, 7.8 and an 8. So it's far up the computer scoreboard, and that is a. Oh my god, that's a 15.8. It's not huge, but let's see. I mean, we're in the company of giants. So
yeah, we are. This is the best of the very best.
Yeah, it actually beats Mike Oldfield.
Balls. That's because you really purposely trod on Mike Oldfield.
I didn't. Okay, would Mike Oldfield back up Pete Townsend? Would Pete Townsend back up Mike Oldfield?
Pete Townsend on his own would back up Mike Oldfield.
Oh, you just.
I don't know. You're right. It's very tight there. Very tight.
Okay. Excellent. Well,
all right.
Well, before we go, I have a letter.
You don't.
I have a letter.
Oh my gosh.
So it is time for.
Cozy. No. Yes, it is Cozy Corner. It's been so long.
Cozy
Corner.
Cozy Corner. So, letters. We are here, Cozy Corner. People write us letters. We offer bad advice or great advice, depending on your point of view. The email address is thenewthamesmen@gmail.com. Feel free
only because there is the Thamesmen, so we are the new Thamesmen.
I still haven't written to the old Thamesmen and said, "Oi, what are you doing? You need that email address." But I'll get right.
Just write to them and say, "We are the new Thamesmen. Beat up.
We are the new kids in town."
Yeah, you can't beat the new Thamesmen. Anyway, yes. So
excellent. So I have a real letter.
Oh my gosh, it's been a long time.
Yeah, it has. It's brilliant. So it is. It says, subject, from the desk of Agnes Nutter. Again, we've had her writ. Do you remember Agnes? She had a problem with her 60-year-old husband, didn't she?
Yes.
And I think she was the one who thought that maybe we were not the Thamesmen, but the Hitmen.
That was it.
And that was the problem. So anyway, she seems, poor dear, has written to us again. Dear Thamesmen, if that is your real names, well, it is, yeah. I would like to complain in a very strong manner. In your recent video, you claim to be Bohemian. Bohemian like you?
Yes, very good, very good.
However, I have noticed you are not suffering from being French. nor indeed singing any rhapsodies. Oh, I think this is a clever. This is a gross misrepresentation. I can't even. You better say this word: misrepresentation, and must be addressed. I look forward to correcting the issue, and don't try being Belgian instead. We can tell.
You could tell if you're Belgian because they're all a bunch of.
Well, they put mayonnaise on their fries, don't they?
They also,
which is
someone
just
said,
unnatural, I would suggest.
Someone said the Belgians invented chocolate to be able to get to the kiddies.
Wasn't that joke about name 5 famous Belgians? As well? And Hercule Poirot does not count. Anyway, now we've just upset the whole of our I mean, we had a huge following in Belgium.
We'll let them go. They're too busy in their bunkers, locking up their family, you know.
Hercule Poirot.
My sister lives in Belgium.
Oh, yes, she does, doesn't she? Is she married to a Belgian?
Yes, or as they like to say, a phlegm.
A phlegm.
And do you know what grandmother is in Belgium? It's grandmama. And do you know what grandfather is?
No.
In Flemish?
No.
Grandvater. So they all come up to my dad, Chico, and they call him grandfather. He's like,
grandfather.
Very apt.
That's probably very apt, isn't it?
Yeah.
Anyway, hopefully you'll do better in your response than you did with my last letter, as my husband is still 60.
Well, so are we being accused of not being bohemian enough? Pour moi?
Pour moi, c'est moi.
C'est moi, c'est pour moi. I don't know. Darling, just let it go, darling.
Yeah, I
Right,
there's confusion about Bohemian and Rhapsodies in French, I think, possibly, but let's not go there. So,
if you ask me, Mrs. Nutt is not getting any. So that's what she's really complaining about, because he's 60 and it's all just a veiled sexual
innuendo.
Beg.
Yeah, I think she needs to go to Belgium. Right.
And it's a one-way ticket. You know why? You have to pay for your one-way ticket, because if you want to get back, you have to work your back passage home.
Oh, no. This edit is going to be awful. It's going to be so hard.
Right.
And on that note, I think it's time to go. Go away.
Bye-bye. Take care. All right.
I wanted to ask you about your actor's career as well, about the success of the whole House series. It's been a huge success in Belgium as well, but apparently someone else asked that question already.
House in Europe is massive, isn't it?
It is rather large. Such a sort of densely wordy show that I can't imagine how it gets translated well enough. I mean, shows where people, which involve guns and, get in the car or get out of the car or, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
That's the dialogue. I can understand that going well in Belgium, for example. I don't know why I picked on Belgium. They're little. And there are no Belgians here. No, there aren't.
Hugh, it's clear that... You do like it.
But bear in mind, think of it this way. Belgium was the first country that came into my head.
And you're not just here for tonight. I mean, you're touring. This band
We are
is
touring. We've just been touring. We've been around. We went to France and Belgium. In fact, in Belgium, I was on a Belgian talk show a couple of days ago because I know how to live. And they showed a clip of me on this show being incredibly rude about Belgians. Yeah, I can't remember what I said. Something. I don't know why I did it. I felt absolutely terrible. I said something. I mean, it was in fun, but I implied that Belgians were, I don't know, slow on the uptake or something. And they showed it to the Belgians, and they cheered.
They cheered?
Yeah. Which sort of proves the point a little bit.
The next leg of the tour. So but they really are stupid.
They probably were. The chap actually, the interviewer said, he actually said to me in a quiet bit, he leant over and he said, they're just so thrilled that you mentioned Belgium. I just feel absolutely terrible. So I have to now make it up to Belgium and say it's a lovely country and everybody smells of chocolate and it's just wonderful and they could not be nicer.
And so intelligent.
And so sharp.
Oh!
Yeah.
On it.
Like you wouldn't believe.
Hercule Poirot, of course, from
famously.
Belgium. Yeah, famously from
Yeah.
Belgium. Yeah.